So good afternoon, Dan O'Shea, Chief of Police, Rockford. To my immediate left is State's Attorney of Winnebago County, Marilyn Height-Ross. To my right, Mayor Tom McNamara from the City of Rockford. So coming back, talking, we said we'd circle back with information about the weekend protest, as well as incidents of looting and other criminal damage throughout the weekend. So currently we've had 17 businesses since 8 p.m. Saturday night through 8 a.m. this morning file police reports for burglary or criminal damage to their businesses. We expect there will probably be more reports coming in. Some businesses also don't report if just their windows were broken. Sometimes they just fix them and just move forward. So our best guess right now is 17 reports, but we anticipate there will be more. We did report to 60 service calls since 8 p.m. Saturday night to 8 a.m. this morning, and that's for alarms and suspicious activities and smashed out windows. So there's obviously a lot more businesses that probably were affected, and I don't think we'll ever have an accurate number of how many actually got broken into because some won't call. During the protest, we arrested 9 individuals for various charges related in the protest, from aggravated assault to aggravated battery to police officer to mob action. Those individuals were charged that night. Of those 2 more were arrested that same night, overnight, that were charged with looting offenses. Looting being either burglary, breaking into businesses. And that was the overnight hours, Saturday after the protest into Sunday morning. So 2 more individuals were charged. So a total, Saturday night to Sunday, 11 people were charged during that particular incident. Sunday night, fast forward, we put out Sunday afternoon and evening. We anticipated there would probably be more looting based on social media posts and intelligence we received from various sources. Sunday we put out multiple agencies came out and put out a lot of officers overnight last night. And we had the county sheriff, the Illinois State Police, the Loves Park Police, the Park District Police, the Cherry Valley Police, as well as Rockford City Police. We'll continue to utilize all of those resources along with our federal partners to handle the overnight looting and the occurrences during the day that have been occurring. Last night we arrested several more individuals for looting. Breaking into windows, attempting to break into businesses. With the amount of officers we had out there, we were able to respond quickly throughout the city to reports. The one from last night was actually at the Target store on State Street, and some officers that were working observed the individuals actually committing the act, so we didn't even get the alarm. They rolled up on them and subsequently arrested individuals. There was 2 juveniles, which we obviously can't give you the names, 16 and 17 years old. And then the other individuals were arrested throughout the night for those incidents of stealing, criminal trespass, criminal damage, trying to loot into businesses. There were multiple calls on, again, people ask, where is it happening? Take your pick. It's north, south, east, west. Any business is fair game. These individuals are driving around throughout the city trying to just steal things that aren't theirs, driving in packs of cars, and we can't have it. Last night, keep going to the next one. You want to go right to the video? Here's a video.
It didn't play. It didn't get on there.
Okay. We'll send you a video afterwards showing some of these packs of cars that have been driving through the city. There's one from a security camera from a company showing 10, 15, 20 cars looping in, looping around, driving recklessly, determining whether or not they're going to go break into this particular business. We know some of those particular vehicles we're trying to identify. Were involved in other business break-ins earlier in the night, and that was Saturday night into Sunday. Last night we were in some short pursuits with people that were breaking into businesses and then ended up in some of the residential neighborhoods chasing those individuals after they abandoned their vehicles. This kind of behavior won't be tolerated. We're going to continue to have massive amounts of law enforcement throughout this city and the area, protecting the businesses, protecting the residents. The 99% of the people that don't want this, we're going to be out there in mass amounts doing our best to protect them. That said, we need the community to keep working with us. The community leaders, the business leaders, the religious leaders, everyone has to keep working with us and work as a team to stop this small percentage of the population that wants to run around and cause havoc and try and destroy our businesses. Peaceful protests are a wonderful thing. The country's founded on the freedom of speech. We're all for peaceful protests. We're all for peaceful marches. We've always allowed them. We haven't had issues prior to this weekend. We've had a lot of them since I've been here. We've always had good relationships, and people have been allowed to speak their mind, and we'll continue to allow people to do that. Walk, protest, speak your mind, carry signs, even when a lot of their anger is directed at the police. We understand that. We try and give people their space, but we will not tolerate damage to property, and we certainly will not tolerate violence against community members, whether it's other community members or it's police officers. That will not be tolerated, and we will continue to arrest anyone that wants to do that. Peaceful protests, come on out. We're totally good with it. Anything beyond that, as soon as it goes into the criminal arena, we will arrest people and we will take them to jail. So, with that, I'm going to let State's Attorney Hyde Ross step up and speak.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to express my condolences to the George Floyd family. This is a time where individuals can and are encouraged to protest peacefully. That is your right to assemble, your right to freedom of expression. However, this is not a time to vandalize businesses, police departments. It doesn't give you an excuse to loot, to steal, and to wreak havoc in our community. And that behavior absolutely will not be tolerated. And those who use this somber moment of the Floyd family to exploit the peaceful protests of other community members and leaders will be held accountable, and it will not be tolerated. We know who you are. You have one agenda, and that is not to peacefully protest. It is to wreak havoc. It is an excuse to steal. It is an excuse to commit crimes of violence in our community, and it will not be tolerated. We have had peaceful protests in this community for years, and the police they cut off roads, they provide free access so that the demonstrators are not interrupted by those who do not agree with their message. That's what they do. But when I learned that criminal conduct had vandalized the District 1 police station, I was devastated. The District 1 police station sits in the heart of the city. The District 1 police station provides safe havens for children. They provide movie nights during the summer. They provide popcorn, all kinds of activities for our children. And you would dare have the audacity to vandalize the District 1 police station in your community, which has been a community center as well for our children. And that absolutely will not be tolerated. This is no time for violence. This is a time to come together. This is a time to express what you are feeling peacefully. Black lives matters. All lives matters as well. And when you wreak havoc and violence in the community, you put at risk everyone's lives. If you don't like the system, do something about it peacefully. And you know how you can do something about it? It's called VOTE. Vote, not just nationally, but locally, and get involved. The Rockford Police Department has a lot of community activities, and they are always looking for community volunteers. And we have a lot of community volunteers and partnerships with the local leadership, the faith community, who has a lot of programs for our youth and the community so that they have positive engagement and not negative engagement. But these few outliers, we know who you are, we will find you, and we will bring you to justice, and we will not let you destroy the memory of Mr. Floyd or the message that the peaceful protesters are trying to send to the nation.
First, thank you, State's Attorney Height Ross. Thank you, Chief. Just want to begin by just saying I certainly echo the thoughts and sentiments of both Chief O'Shea and Winnebago County State's Attorney Marilyn Height Ross. There is a place for peaceful protest, and if there was ever a place, it's right now with the turmoil going on throughout our community. But there's never been a place for absolute violence and opportunistic behavior of looting businesses, and quite honestly, businesses who have just went through some of the most devastating times of their entire lives due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now is the time for us as a community to come together. I would just say, when we look at the rioting and the looting, it detracts from the larger message. When you look at the destruction that's being caused in our community, it detracts from the larger message that people like me need to hear and that I'm here to listen to. Certainly understand that there's anger, there's frustration. I think we're all angry and frustrated. But now, as State's Attorney Height Ross said, now's the time for us to come together. And I would echo the sentiments, and I think it was put really beautifully by State's Attorney Height Ross. You look at that District 1 station, the vast majority of people who are going there to participate in community events to help lift up our entire city. If it's a train show, if it's a movie night, if it's bingo with seniors, whatever it may be, that center is active all of the time. The amount of time and energy that went into planning that district station was a community effort. It was everyone coming together. It was West Gateway Coalition, the neighborhood, coming together, who were out there that next morning helping picking up those remnants of the violence from the evening before. We have a pretty, during these difficult times, it's hard to see that silver lining, but we have an opportunity as a community, and each one of us as an individual, and that begins with me, to look at the pain that we are feeling and turn that pain into purpose. But that purpose gets lost when property destruction takes place. We need to keep our eye on the goal, and that's making sure that every single person who calls our community home has those opportunities that they need to live a successful life right here in Rockford. So I just ask that the violence stops and that we get back to the reason why we congregated at the beginning, why we show concern from the beginning, which is we do need change, and we want to do this together. Thank you.
With that, I'll just end it with the goal of the police department has been, always will be, to work with the community. Everyone in this room and everyone in Rockford certainly knows that the Rockford Police Department is 100% about working with the community, and especially the kids coming up. And we all need to band together. As I said, there's a very, very small percentage of people that are they're taking away the message and they're hijacking it and they're causing chaos and havoc. And those few individuals just need to stop, or we need to put them in jail. But the other 99.9% of us get back to what we did best here in Rockford. Rockford is better than what has happened in the last couple days. This city is a much better city than what's been happening.